Thank you. Marnie Kent.
Sorry.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Hi, thank you. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the councillors and the council staff for all the effort you put behind making this happen and giving the public an opportunity to have a speak or have a say. So thank you for your time. I won't go over my whole application, but there's a couple of things that I think are really important. If I put my hat on about the whole city, I think it's really important we spend funding on providing services and venues for youth. When I think about adults, we work, we earn money, we can do things we want. If you think about young children, parents look after them full time and they pay for everything. But when you get to that adolescent age, parents kind of are over it, go make your own money, go sort yourself out, and for them to get from A to B, they don't have a licence to drive. So I'm always thinking of what is it we as a city can do to support young people that makes getting transport to that location an easy access. So if there's a geo park in Akaroa, could there be a public bus that takes them on a trip there? Because parents don't always have time to do that sort of thing. And young people need places to bump, like Jim Deers would say, bumping places. And they need places to hang and just be themselves. So if we can think about providing that sort of service and having young people at a table when you make decisions, have them there with you, being part of that process. If I was to put my Sumner hat on, and I look at in the long-term plan, you mentioned certain parts about Sumner. There's some things there I do strongly agree that we need to fix, and I know a lot of money's been spent on Sumner, but when you think about the link from Littleton through Sumner, a lot of that was because of economic gains. So, for example, the port company wanted to send the trucks over the hill. So for us to do that, we had to repair the roads, we had to make that corridor safe, and that's why a lot of money's been spent as well. So that, I know a lot of money's been spent, but we've still got other things that we need to repair and fix and get back together, and that's the main village road is pretty crappy. If trucks are going to come back through that village again, we need to make that road safe. A lot of young children have grown up, how long's it been since the earthquake? 7 years? So a lot of young ones growing up haven't experienced trucks going through Sumner. So it's important we make that village area, it's a hanging place. A lot of young people, adults, everyone hangs in that place. So we do need to make that part of the village safe for cycling and for car parking and for cars with traffic. So please do consider funding that sort of project. I know you might think it's enhancing Sumner, but that's part of safety for me. I think that's important. Now they have a daughter that does cycling. She's pretty good at it. I really want to make sure our roads are safe for everyone, actually. Toilets. I just heard the topic of toilets just before. Now, I know Sumner's got toilets in Scarborough Park and at the Surf Club, and there's 2 toilets that are in the middle of Scarborough and Cave Rock. Now, several times I've walked past those toilets, there's always queues outside. Several occasions I've gone to use them, they're disgustingly dirty. I don't know if 2 toilets is enough for that middle area. It's quite popular. The other issue we have with those toilets is when you've got the Learn to Surf project going on, there's 2 Learn to Surf classes. There's people who change into their surfing gear, hog up the toilets just to get changed. So maybe there could be a very cheap option to build some little changing facilities that don't have to be an enclosed building, just posts with some thing around it where you can still see the feet and you've still got privacy, but they're little changing quarters. So it might eliminate the hogging up the toilets, or we might just need to increase those toilets or clean them more regularly. I don't know how often they get cleaned, but I don't think they get cleaned enough. Litter's also an issue. I think of people like you guys I see as extraordinary people. You put yourselves out there, you consider it, you're extraordinary, but most people are just ordinary people. They don't think. So even though we had the philosophy of don't put many bins because encourage people to take their rubbish home, not everyone's extraordinary. They don't think that way. So if we can have a few more bins lying around, that would be really good. Youth is important, definitely the village green or the village. And the other thing I really like is 2024 Nayland Street. I know it's part of the red zone land. We have an opportunity to save Captain Scott's hut and we need somewhere to put it. And if we don't find a permanent home for it, we lose it, and it goes off to a private home in Akaroa. We were able to stop it leaving Sumner. It's sitting somewhere, it's deteriorating. We've got the ballast that came in the Terra Nova ship. We can use that as a feature, as a rock wall with all the historic information of the link. So if we could think about that section as well, I'd really love to save that. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that's perfect timing. So thank you very much.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Cool. Sorry?
Yeah.
First time,
I want to know a little bit more about that, Captain Scott Hut. So, but we'll take some advice.
But I really mean it. I truly do appreciate it, because you're there and I'm not, and I really appreciate what you do, because I couldn't do it.
So you don't have to.
Thank you for your time.
You might do one day.
Cheers.
Right.